guess like total, if you counted like our starting day, like when we started like buying food in Bishkek to when we actually reached the summit, that was almost 3 weeks actually.
Wow. So was it like
Just
a week,
because,
a week of climbing?
Yeah, it was also like we had a earlier summit attempt that failed. We had to turn around just short of the summit. And so, but after that first summit attempt, we're just completely wiped out. So we needed like another day and a half to, rest, recuperate, eat, and then try it again. So the climbing trip really started like for us the moment we were dropped off from the helicopter in Jangar. And so from there, like the first day, we just had to bring all our stuff up to our first base camp at a little over 11,000 feet. So we stayed there the first night after the helicopter drops us off. And then the next day and a half, we spent just advancing our gear up to what we call advanced base camp, up at about 13,500 feet. So that entailed, a day of just kind of scouting, like bringing, all our climbing gear and kind of scouting, like potential tent sites.
Okay.
And then just caching a lot of our gear there. Then going back down and sleeping at base camp again that night. Then the next day, after we had found a suitable advanced base camp location, bringing everything up, including 10 days worth of food and gear, and then setting up an advanced base camp right next to a glacier, like near a boulder field that's called like a moraine, which is formed by the glacier.
And is it freezing out?
The temperature, like during the day, like varied a lot, even like moment to moment, just because when the sun was out, it was actually pretty comfortably warm. But if it was cloudy, it dipped definitely below freezing.
Wow.
Then at night, the winds could be really, really strong. So we had to build rock walls around our tents just to protect from the wind.
How many days were you actually climbing for, maybe not including the first time?
10 days.
Wow. And then does that include the first time going up?
No, that's like once we established the advanced base camp, then we did 10 days of climbing.
I see.
Different, different peaks, different kind of day trips from advanced base camp. So that was 10 days. Looked at the hole that I would punch through, and my headlamp the crevasse just ate it up.
How deep do you think it was?
I mean, those usually like one of that width. If it's like 5-6 feet across, they're usually between 40 to 60 feet deep.
Wow.
Nice.
That was after you guys' first attempt to the summit. You were on the way down. This happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to get back to like the base camp kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where all the mistakes happen. Like going up is like physically difficult. You're exhausted. Your muscles are like burning. You just can't catch your breath. But going down is where 90% of accidents happen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what always makes the summit sort of a kind of a moment of mixed emotions, because we were happy, but we also know that we have the most difficult and dangerous part ahead of us.
Coming down is.
Yeah.
So your base camp, is that yellow hut on the side of the mountain, or is that kind of just a weird other thing you found in your travels?
That was in our training trip that we stayed at hut. That was the one near the capital. The place that we stayed at had pretty much never seen inhabitation before.
So when you call it base camp, that's kind of where you go back to set up your tents? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, they call it base camp just where they happen
You
to
just
be.
have 2 ice axes that sink in, and you have spikes on your feet called crampons that help you bite into the ice and hard snow. So that was most of it, which is not technically difficult, but exhausting. And if you just kind of just skid across the ice, you're going to be falling for a few thousand feet.
Oh my God.
Just kind of down like a 60-degree slope.
But so you made it through without a lot of injury?
Yeah, no accidents.
Few beers,
Like
yeah.
a lot of the previous trips in the area had named the peaks after their girlfriends,
Oh.
which we thought was a pretty powerfully lame thing to do.
Not
So
for the
we're like-
girlfriends. All right.
Don't tell my girlfriend. I said
Okay.
But yeah, so we like, because we're, as I said earlier, we like really don't take ourselves all that seriously as mountaineers. For
Yeah.
me, at least, and I think for the rest of the guys, they would agree that like our main objective is to like have fun and just have an awesome time. Because there's guys I just love hanging out with, you know. So we wanted to do something not too serious. If we got to the top of this thing, so we're maybe like name it like Mount like your girlfriend, or like Mount like after your girlfriend or something.
How about,
We figured after you was a nice middle ground, not too obviously ridiculous.
Well, I think
Also,
it's
it can be
very-
justified in a number of ways. It's also like it's a nice homage to the number of attempts that had seen before us.
Yeah, it seems very
Because a lot of
poetic.
the trip reports had helped us massively, and we definitely wouldn't have been able to have as much success if we didn't have all the information from previous trips.
And
So we owe a lot
which
to
is
them.
here too.
and you were also climbing. Well, someone else was trying to climb the mountain as well. I think
Oh,
there was
yes.
a British group.
Tell her about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, there's a British expedition that they landed in Bishkek, I think 2 days after we returned back to Bishkek from having summited the mountain, and their main objective is also peak 5318. So they I think I got in touch with them briefly and said, hey, if you guys want to meet up in Bishkek, we're in the capital. But we never met up. But yeah, they were out in this same region for a number of weeks,
Wow.
and so we just got them by I think like 10 days.
Oh my God. So were they like, I don't know, pissed, feeling like you took it away from them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it's safe to assume that they wouldn't be too happy with.
Yeah.
They altered their route though. They chose other things then, didn't they?
I think so, yeah,
Yeah.
based on what we followed.
And so, are there a lot of unclimbed summits in the Himalayas, or is this kind of just like one of a few?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, I mean there are countless unclimbed summits. But
This is the
unclimbed-
highest. That's
Yeah.
the thing in
Really?
Kyrgyzstan.
They're just
It was very desirable.
Wow.
limitless number of minor peaks that nobody's climbed and nobody has really bothered to try climbing. But this one had seen a lot of ambitions towards climbing it from other groups. I think we all agreed that staying away from the more popular climbing areas like the Alps or the Andes or the Himalayas and going towards the more obscure places where there's not only an element of just kind of like technical climbing, but it's more adventure travel. So we're thinking places like Tajikistan or Uzbekistan or Kurdistan in Iraq, where there's awesome mountains, but also a challenge of just logistics of getting food and equipment and drivers and such, where there's not a huge like the six of us, none of us are professional climbers or professional mountaineers. This is all just done online, a little research, a little planning, and a little luck and determination. And we had never done anything like this before, so we were prepared for, all the unexpected disasters and failures. So even with our limited experience in these kind of like large expeditions, it was something that we pulled off and had a great time doing it.